Hello there, good morning. It's Phil Thatch, and today I'm here at Orlando Wetlands, and I'm going to be using the OM System OM-1 Mark II and the 150 to 600 Super Telephoto Zoom lens. This is, gosh, I've lost count of how many times I've been here now. I'm all the way from Chattanooga, Tennessee, and it's probably 575 miles to Orlando Wetlands where I am, and this is a great place for wading bird photography, amongst other things. This is the first time I've ever been here in September. Today is September 19th, 2025. So we're going to see what Orlando Wetlands is like in September. I've gotten here just a little bit late. It's probably 45 minutes past sunrise. I would like to have been here a little earlier. This morning, I'm going to take the same path that I did last time I came here when I was here with Phil Vignola, and I made a left at the visitor center instead of going straight to the boardwalk. You can walk out through here and eventually make a right on a little sandy dirt road called Bobcat, and that'll take you over to kind of the back of the boardwalk. We had some pretty good luck out in this area, and maybe I will today. So far, all I'm seeing is lots of black vultures. There goes one flying by right there, but hopefully I'll see some things that are more interesting than that soon. But I don't have a problem with making a photograph of a black vulture too. Anybody who's watched the channel for a long time definitely knows that. So I'm going to keep working. I'm just about to tell you in the next clip that I didn't take a single shot of a black vulture. Well, I had forgotten that I took this shot, and I thought it was kind of cool. This is a black vulture on a nest. I've never seen a black vulture on a nest before. I've seen probably 1,000 black vultures in my life, but I've never seen one on a nest. And this is a 600 millimeter shot. I'm at 1/800th of a second. I'm using the OM System 150 to 600 lens, which is an f5 to f6.3. And I like to stop it down a third of a stop to f7.1. So I'm at f7.1 and my ISO is 160. I also forgot about this white ibis in flight shot that I got. Another 600 millimeter shot. This is 1/1600th of a second, f7.1 and ISO 320 of the white ibis. If you like white ibis, you should definitely take a look at my white ibis of Epcot video that I made on the same trip to Florida. Just really up close with a 40 to 150 lens of some wild but pretty tame white ibis. I saw lots of black vultures, didn't take a single shot. Probably could have gotten a decent shot, but I was really wanting something a little more. And I got a couple of egret in flight that are not good, long way away. But the first bird I saw that I got pretty close to was my favorite woodpecker, the pileated woodpecker. I saw a male and a female, not in good light, but I definitely was able to pretty much fill the frame with them. I've got two shots of the female pileated woodpecker. I don't have any of the male. He was hiding in the branches of a palm tree. This one's lower down on the tree. And most of my shots of her, she's in the shade. You can see the sun's coming from the left to the right, and she's in the shade. And this is 600 millimeters, 1/1600th of a second, f7.1 and ISO 1250. And she stayed in the shade for most of the time. And then all of a sudden, for just one shot, she peeked her head around into the sun. And this is also 600 millimeters, 1/1600th of a second, f7.1 and 2000 ISO, but just so much better from when she's in the shade and her eye looks black and dull to when she's in the sun and her eye looks interesting. Really love this shot. This one is just okay, but this one I like quite a bit of the female pileated woodpecker. The male would have a red stripe right here instead of white. Here's an ominous looking turkey vulture perched on top of a dead tree. This is 548 millimeters. I'm at 1/1600th of a second. I'm still at 7.1, and this is 640 ISO. I thought this shot turned out really nice. I've made it over to the boardwalk now. And just down here is an anhinga that I got a point blank range headshot of. And right here, just right here, is a green heron. I mean, it can't be more than 10 feet away. And I set the camera down really low, just right on the ground. Had to angle it down just a little bit and made some frame filling shots of it at 150 millimeters. That's pretty crazy. Here's the super close-up of just the head of an anhinga. This is 240 millimeters, 1/1250th of a second, f7.1, and ISO 800. I love this green heron shot that I showed you how I made it with the camera sitting down on the walking area of the boardwalk and pointing the camera through the slats of the handrail. This is 150 millimeters, the shortest I can get this lens to go, 1/1250th of a second, f7.1, and ISO 400. This, I believe, is a immature green heron. There's an alligator right over there, just got its head poking up out of the water. And right here, maybe 20 feet away, got a common gallinule. Once again, I set the camera down on the boardwalk and fired through the slats to make the shot, to get a decently low angle. Here's the common gallinule. My family calls this a chicken ducky. This is 262 millimeters, another shot with the camera sitting on the walking part of the boardwalk and shooting through the slats of the handrail. This is 1/1250th of a second, f7.1, and ISO 320. Well, I think September is definitely not the best month of the year to come here. I have fallen back on photographing vultures. I just got a pretty cool shot, I think, of a turkey vulture right on top of a tree right over there with pretty good sun angle on it. Beautiful shot, I thought, of this turkey vulture high in a tree. This is 342 millimeters. It's 1/1250th of a second, f7.1, and my ISO is 500 for this one. Well, after the vulture shot, I just spotted a tricolored heron, full adult tricolored heron, very common for down here, but never see those at all back home in Tennessee, and got some pretty cool shots of it, I think, with good sun angle on it. Here's the adult tricolored heron. This is a 300 millimeter shot. It was kind of skipping around in the shallows there, and I got this shot of it. Thought it turned out real nice. 1/1250th of a second, f7.1, and ISO 500 on the tricolored heron. Here's another shot. This is that same tricolored heron. I made it about 5 minutes later. I was able to get really close and use the 600 millimeter end of this 150 to 600 lens. Of course, this is on a micro 4/3 camera, the OM system OM-1 Mark II. So to get full frame equivalent, you multiply by 2. So this is 1200 millimeters full frame equivalent, 1/1250th of a second, f7.1, and ISO 500. Lots of beautiful colors in the feathers on the bird, and the eye is just a unique and beautiful color. And I like the color of the water and the vegetation in the background. Pretty happy with this photograph all the way around, even though I wish the bird wasn't in shadow in this area, but it's not too bad. I was really excited to see this bird because I was thinking it might be a migratory warbler, but instead it's a blue-gray gnatcatcher. Still happy to get the shot. This is 600 millimeters, 1/1250th of a second, f7.1, and 2500 ISO. I heard some sandhill cranes while I was out and about, but I was coming back to the car, and look, here's 3 that are 5 feet from me. That is completely ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. I don't think I ever got a particularly good shot of the sandhill cranes, but it was amazing to see them that close. They were in shade and the background was bright, so kind of a tricky exposure, and they would always have their head turned away from me instead of towards me, but maybe I got a couple. Let's take a look. The first shot, and really the only shot I got of the full sandhill crane, was from a long way away, 523 millimeters, so 1046 full frame equivalent, 1/640th of a second, f7.1, and ISO 500. And you can see lots of little gnats and small flying creatures flying around the sandhill crane. That's got to be annoying having those around all the time. And the next shot I got of the sandhill crane, this was much, much closer. And this shot would be really nice if the bird had just turned its head about 20 or so degrees to the right. But instead, the head angle is not very good. And you can see lots of these little annoying flying insects. Some of them are flying and some of them are landing on the bird. This is 251 millimeters, so I'm much closer. And 1/640th of a second, f7.1, and ISO 160. All right, thanks for joining me here at Orlando Wetlands, my third trip here this year, third and final. Won't be back here again until probably March of 2026. But I really do love this place and highly recommend it. Thanks for watching. Hit thumbs up if you like the content. Subscribe and hit the bell if you want to see some more. And as always, I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye-bye.